In 2013, I became a fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise after playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Obviously, Black Flag was very successful. It's safe to say it was the point that made a lot of people get into Assassin's Creed. Following on the success of Black Flag, the next year, 2014, Ubisoft decided to release not one, but two new Assassin's Creed games on the same day. Assassin's Creed Rogue on PS3 and Xbox 360, and Assassin's Creed Unity for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. With Assassin's Creed Unity, they had a new gen of consoles, so they pushed the engine and the graphics, the animations for climbing, fighting, the amount of NPCs, aka people in the street, and many more mechanics. Back in 2014, when Assassin's Creed Unity came out, it was disastrous. The game was glitching, crashing, frame dropping. At the time, it didn't matter if you had a console or a PC with a GTX 980 Ti or a GTX Titan X. This game was a problem. I even remember the patches released at the time were huge in size and they weren't solving much problems. I remember when certain patches released, updating the game even caused some people to lose their save files in the game. Today, in 2025, this game is 11 years old. The game got enough patches and the hardware market has evolved. The mainstream media no longer talks about this game, so join me and let's talk about Assassin's Creed Unity in 2025. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Only Thing Gaming channel. At this point in time, we all know Assassin's Creed Unity didn't exactly have the best release. Back then, the game was ambitious, but there were too much glitches and problems that prevented players from enjoying the game. Unity's problem wasn't the game itself. At its core, Unity can be playable and honestly enjoyable when things work out as intended. The problem was the amount of glitches and crashes within the game. To be more exact, in this video, we will talk about how Assassin's Creed Unity benefited from its patches, updates and newer hardware, especially on the PC side of things, what's fixed and what's not fixed, and how's the experience in 2025. Before we get into it, I'd like to remind you, in this video, I will talk about story, side content, open world, and technical stuff like frame rate, resolution, and settings. This video doesn't spoil the story of the game if you are worried about it. Assassin's Creed Unity is set in Paris during the French Revolution in the late 18th century. Of course, as always in Assassin's Creed, the game draws inspiration from history but makes its own story. The Templars move the revolution against the assassins and against one another. We follow Arnaud Victor Dorian and see how he affects and be affected by those circumstances. They tried to create a new Ezio with Arnaud's character, and there are a lot of similarities here.
Won't be the first palace I've broken into. Hide in plain sight. Right.
With his one-liners, reactions, and wits, Arnaud's not bad, but he's way far from having Ezio's charisma. In the beginning, Arnaud's father gets killed. He then gets raised by De La Serre, falls in love with his daughter Elise, until Arnaud's careless nature gets De La Serre killed. Arnaud gets accused with killing him and goes to prison where he meets Belek, an assassin who knew his father. After escaping the prison, Belek decides to take Arnaud as his apprentice and support him to become an assassin. Before we jump to our next section of this video, I'd like to remind you to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you've been enjoying the content. And without further ado, let's jump on to the next section. I know this might not be a popular opinion, but Assassin's Creed Unity's gameplay is one of the best in the series, if not the best. The game's engine is very smooth. Every action from running to climbing to assassinating enemies feels satisfying. The parkour has never been better. You can run up and down buildings, and even there's a slow run animation for crowded areas. But the most important aspects of gameplay are combat, progression, and stealth. The combat system is the best in the series in my opinion. It's challenging and the enemies are more aggressive. They don't wait for their turn to attack like previous games. The combat system benefits from the health system. In Unity, your health doesn't replenish itself. You have to take medicine. So taking a hit during a fight is not only risky, but the game punishes you for it. It's not like thinking, hey, I can take a hit, my health replenishes anyway. Despite the combat system being good here, it's not perfect, as sometimes one of many things could go wrong. For example, the game sometimes doesn't give you a chance to parry attacks. In the footage you see now, the game just stopped responding. I couldn't do anything except eagle vision. Enemies shoot you when they are next to you, or sometimes hitting an enemy doesn't damage him, which creates what I'd like to call a no you don't moment.
No you don't!
Or even just spamming the OP sword attack you unlock after buying one-handed weapon master skill. And speaking of skills, it's time to talk about the progression systems in the game. The progression in this game is based on three things: gear, skills, and rank. Your gear consists of sword, pistol, headgear, chest, arms, belt, and legs. There are 6 levels in the game. Each gear piece can have from 1 diamond to 5 diamonds. The 6th level is having 5 golden diamonds instead of white. The leveling system is not typical here. Unlike other games, you can downgrade yourself just by changing equipment, and you don't have to pass through levels in a certain order. You can go from level 1 to 6 if you have the equipment or the money to buy it. The skills in this game can be bought with skill points you get from story missions or co-op missions. There's a fixed number of skills and skill points. If you go for 100%, you get all of the skills. Honestly, the skills here were just disappointing. Many skills are useless, like healing your allies, as it's only usable in co-op, which is very limited in the game's content. Other skills are not exactly useless, but it feels like you should have them without having to buy them. Examples on this are the double assassination skill or the blending skill. Finally, your rank. There are 31 ranks in the game, with the highest rank being Legend. Your rank doesn't do anything in-game, it's just for online profile. You rank up when you collect crit points. Your crit points can be used to upgrade gear or buy color schemes for your gear. Spending crit points doesn't decrease your rank, in case you are wondering. And in my opinion, despite not having any direct effect on the game, the rank is the most important thing in the game, and I'll explain why when we get to talking about content and stealth. Which brings me to my next section of this video: stealth. Assassin's Creed Unity's stealth system is the best without a doubt. Mainly I said this for 5 reasons. 1. The combat is now harder, which encourages a stealthy approach. 2. Your health doesn't replenish itself. 3. Unity has the best set of assassin tools. 4. Having new skills like disguise, which sometimes allows you to pass areas or reach your targeted someone or something. 5. Eagle vision now works differently. You can activate eagle vision while running or climbing or even fighting, but it has a cooldown. Changing the eagle vision this way allows you to stay on the move and be aware of your surroundings at the same time. And the rank system makes it even better. Remember when I said rank is important? Well, it's important because it encourages you to use your tools, as almost every tool you use gets you crit points. So actions like air assassinations or using poison gas are ideal to rank up. Examples on this can be seen when using poison gas on big groups of enemies to take them down, or even using a cherry bomb to group enemies before using poison gas, or normal smoke bomb to take them out. However, stealth in this game has its issues. The biggest issue is the AI. Enemies can sometimes be stupid, especially when you use cover to take them down. Sometimes I can take down up to 4 enemies from the same cover place Despite getting detected, they know where I am and I take them down anyway. Or sometimes something like this happens. Well, that's the meaning of hide in plain sight, I guess. The rank system doesn't only make stealth better, it even makes parkour better, as using a fast lift or killing enemies with it awards you with crit points. But lifts get you up. What if you were getting down? Well, there's an action called controlled descent. It gets you points too. In this video, I did a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I got controlled descent for 3 steps down, and 5 steps down gave me an expert controlled descent. I will be honest with you, this was the first time I discovered the expert controlled descent. I didn't know it existed before. The content in this game is divided into 4 sections, which are story, co-op, side missions, and collectibles. We covered the story earlier, but I'm going to say the highest quality in the 4 sections is the single-player story missions. Unity was the first Assassin's Creed game to have co-op, and well, co-op in this game leaves a bit to be desired. There are sync problems all over the game and you don't find many people to play with nowadays. Co-op missions can be played solo, but some of them were designed to be played in co-op. For example, the tournament mission where you have to collect the flags within a certain time limit. Completing this one in solo was a pain. And to add replay value, each co-op mission has 3 gear pieces. You get 1 each time you complete it. That's 3 times each mission if you want to get all of them. Heists are also playable in co-op. Heists are missions where you have to obtain an item to get money and bonus, but you must be stealthy, as each time you get detected, your bonus gets decreased. Later heists are harder, and they randomize the location of the item, giving you 4 possible locations. It could be your first or even 4th. I honestly got lucky and got a huge bonus. The third section is Paris Stories. Those are lower quality side missions you do for money or other stuff like unlocking an outfit or getting more revenue for your cafe. Most of those missions are just fetch quests where you have to either steal from a target, assassinate a target, or defend an ally. The only 3 special kinds here are murder mysteries, where you have to solve a crime puzzle to get a weapon. Solving them without accusing the wrong person gives you a bonus. The enigma puzzles, where you have to move from one location to another solving puzzles to collect a piece in the end. Collecting all the pieces gives you access to Thomas de Corleone armor after solving 3 simple door puzzles. I won't spoil them here. And Rifts missions, where you have to free an initiate who got stuck in the server. 4th section is the collectibles section, which includes chests. There are 4 types of chests: normal chests, locked chests, nomad chests, and initiate chests. The nomad and initiate chests are not required for 100%. They only help you by getting money or unlocking legacy outfits. As you can see, I collected 4 chests in this district. I unlocked the nomad chest and I still have 4 chests collected. Also, looking at this other instance, we see that I collected all 16 chests in this district, yet I still had an initiate chest to collect. Cockades, which are collected by doing parkour or climbing a high position to get them. They unlock more color schemes for your gear. Sync points, which are skill points that can only be collected during co-op missions. Viewpoints, artifacts, and renovations inside the cafe itself, or buying social clubs, which unlocks more missions and increases your cafe revenue. As expected, Unity's content follows the now famous Ubisoft formula, but to be fair, there's more going on here. Synchronizing a viewpoint no longer reveals all collectibles. The game encourages exploration, as you can see here. The chest in this location wasn't on my map, but since I knew there was a chest here, I visited this location, and when I got close, it showed up on my map. I then found out about the microtransactions in this game, and one of the packs reveals all the collectibles on the map. Maybe Ubisoft wasn't encouraging exploration after all. Also, there are random crowd events that are not required for 100%. They happen randomly in the city. You get rewards after completing a set of events. You get your first reward after completing 5 of them. Each time they increase the set by 5. So to get rewards, you have to do 5, then 10, then 15, and so on. After completing the 30 set, you get the Master Phantom Coat. After that, you only get 25,000 levers for each set. Unity's open world is not the biggest in the series, but it's very rich. You can enter most of the buildings in Paris, and the streets feel alive and crowded. The number of NPCs they managed to put in one scene is revolutionary by 2014 standards. And there are even underground locations you can enter and explore. Ubisoft always nails it with the open world design and building the historical cities, so no surprise there. Running the game in 2025 is fairly easy. The game benefits greatly from newer hardware. I pushed every option in the graphics settings to its maximum except for anti-aliasing. I used FXAA with 1440p. The game was running at around 70 to 80 FPS. A bit higher in less intense areas and a bit lower in more intense areas. In case you are wondering, my PC has a Ryzen 5 5600X, RX 6650 XT 8GB, 16GB DDR4 3600 MHz RAM, and the Gen 4 2TB M.2. Level design in Assassin's Creed Unity is one of the best in the series. Mostly you will notice better level designs with single player and co-op missions, as they are carefully designed. Examples on this can be seen with lockpicking mostly. Lockpicking a locked door most of the time provides a shortcut or puts you behind the enemies, giving you an advantage. But the unique assassination chance in single-player missions is the most interesting choice. For your first target, you can sit next to him and pretend to be someone else and assassinate him. In a later mission, you can use poisoned wine to eliminate the target. But I won't show that one because it's near the end of the story and might spoil it. Another instance that deserves to be mentioned is the tournament co-op mission. In the beginning of the mission, you have to steal 4 items. If you kill guards, later in the mission, your target will be properly guarded as he suspects something is wrong.
I was hoping you'd be a little more discreet. The fatalities you've caused have raised suspicion. Marcour has summoned his bodyguards. It won't be easy to get close to him. You're in for a fight.
For the cons, I would say if you played this game, it's not worth going for 100%. There are a lot of collectibles and getting all of them is boring. Rift's artifacts are the worst collectible in the game. There is no map for these areas. I had to look up a guide to get them. You can collect only one at a time and they spawn randomly. So if the game spawns one you already collected, you have to restart from checkpoint. The biggest problem in the game is the glitches. I encountered a lot of glitches during combat and parkour. Sometimes dead bodies move on their own, fast lifts don't work as intended, or other various parkour and climbing glitches. To be fair, the game is stable and unstable at the same time. Glitches occur a lot, but the game doesn't crash. Most of them are minor and don't break the game completely. Before saying anything, I'd like to remind you that I played the game on PC, so what I say about the game might or might not be true for consoles. I completed the game at 100%, and I think Assassin's Creed Unity is one of the best in the series. I recommend you try the game as it aged pretty well. In 2025, most gaming hardware can run this game with higher resolution, higher frame rate, and higher settings. And the game is cheap. They even gave it away a few years back. I remember getting it for free on my Uplay account. I never enjoyed a game like this in a long time. I even played like 7 hours in a single session. Let me know your opinion on this game. I know some people might disagree, but I think Assassin's Creed Unity is around top 5 in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and this game gets underrated all the time. This is a new idea in the channel. If you think there's an underrated single player game that has aged well, tell me about it in the comment section down below. We've reached the end of this video. If you are watching at this point, I would like to thank you and remind you to like and subscribe for more content like this video. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.